How's it going, guys? Mike Kellum here with another video, and in this video I want to talk about what I regret doing from the beginning and how I would change my experience to make it a little bit better. Before we get started, I just want to say I'm not sponsored and nobody's paying me to make this video. I make these videos in my free time, and all I ask of you is that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's free to you, and it really helps me out tremendously. Not only that, but you'll also get a lot of great tips on living the RV lifestyle full-time. And with that being said, let's just get right into it. So the first thing I would have changed is I would have gone with a towable instead of a drivable. What I mean by this is I probably would have purchased a travel trailer and a truck versus buying a Class A motorhome. The reason for this is because with this lifestyle, where you're going to be going, or at least where I'm going anyway, you'll probably want a truck to get over some rough terrain. With a motorhome, you have to take everything with you if you want to go somewhere that a car can't get you. But with a truck and travel trailer, you can take the truck separately if you need to. And that's actually one of the next things I plan to do is upgrade to a travel trailer and a Ford F-250. I think it'll just be a lot more convenient for my needs, to be totally honest. With my next upgrade, I also want to get something that's a little bit smaller. So right now, my Class A is 35 foot, which, don't get me wrong, it's really nice. This thing is pretty much as big as my former apartment was, but there's so many restrictions on where you can go. For example, a lot of the parks restrict campers that are longer than 32 foot. So for my next camper, I'm planning to get something that's probably less than 30 feet, maybe a little bit closer to 25. Plus, it'll be a lot easier to get into boondocking places, and it'll be a lot more fuel efficient for when I decide to travel a lot more. The next one is selling all of my possessions. Now, when I first started with this, I did not consider that as an option. I just wanted to rent a storage shed and put everything in there, and that's worked, but it's costing me an extra $300 a month. And do you want to know how many times I've went to that storage unit and actually touched anything? So I was pretty much just burning $300 a month. Kind of related to that, stop buying stuff before you go full-time in an RV. That was another mistake I made, is I just kept buying stuff, even though I'd already planned to live in an RV. The biggest one, which I'm kind of sad about, I built this really awesome gaming computer, full-size desktop. And I don't know why, but for some reason in my mind I was thinking, dude, I can just take this with me. No, I can't. I tried to make it work every way I could, but it just wasn't happening. So unfortunately, I wasted a lot of money on this super cool gaming computer that I got to use for all of about 2 weeks. And of course, with something like that, you can't sell it for anything near what you bought it for. So take it from me, if you're planning on a big purchase in the near future, wait until you move into the RV and live in it a little bit and really consider, would it work out in this situation? My next tip is, I wish I'd moved towards a passive income a little bit sooner. I'm making it work with my corporate job, but it's very inconvenient to have a corporate job and try to travel full-time. It doesn't matter what job you're working, it's going to be impossible to get the time off. And in the jobs where you definitely can get the time off, you're not going to be making a lot of money and maybe not enough to cover your bills. So I definitely wish I worked towards a passive income sooner, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this YouTube channel. That's part of the reason why at the beginning of these videos I always say like and subscribe this video. It's completely free to you, but every time you like or subscribe to my channel, it counts as engagement, and YouTube promotes my channel just a little bit more. The next one is, I wish I did a lot more research. Like I was saying earlier, I kind of ran into some money in the beginning of 2021, and I was just so excited that I just jumped right into this without really even thinking about it. And even though it worked out for me, it was very inconvenient and kind of a steep learning curve. One thing I probably would have done differently is I would have watched more YouTube videos relating to full-time RV living, and instead of watching the ones that are completely unrelated to what I want to do, I would have spent more time watching the ones that are related to what I want to do. The next one is, have a bunch of backup plans. You can't have enough backup plans when you're living in an RV. The number one example I can think of is with electricity. So right now I have a solar setup, but when I first started, I was just running a generator all the time, which was very expensive. The generator also wasn't very reliable, so I kept finding myself without power. Now I have a lot of backup options for my backup options with electricity. I got the solar power, which is my main source of power. I got the built-in generator for those high-use appliances, like the microwave or the air conditioner. And then I have 2 backup generators just in case that one fails, because that one's been known to fail. Another example is with heat. In the wintertime when my heat failed, that really sucked because I didn't have a backup option. Now I always carry 2 space heaters with me just in case. Kind of relating to the power situation, I wish I had started with solar from the beginning. Like I said, I was just running completely off a generator for the first 3 or 4 months, and that cost me a lot of money. I think I probably wasted about $1,200 in fuel expenses doing that. And the solar system that I bought, that runs my whole RV pretty much continuously with no problems or hiccups, only cost me $300. Think about that. 1 month running the generator could have bought me a whole solar system. I was very dumb. And the last tip is I wish I'd factored in my cats before I started doing this. Now, even if I had factored my cats in, I definitely still would have brought them, but I would have approached it a little bit differently. For example, I would have bought an RV that has a place for a cat box or a more convenient place for a cat box. And I probably would have bought an RV that doesn't have any carpets. When a cat pees on the carpet in a house, it's really not that big of a deal. But when they pee on the carpet in an RV, you're stunk out for days. It's not pleasant and it's very hard to clean up. I would have also purchased an RV that had leather furniture instead of cloth furniture. Cat hair sticks to cloth like none other, but with leather you can just wipe it up and it's gone. You don't have to spend so much time just vacuuming it. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a good rest of your day and safe travels.